Recorded.
Yes. And we are live. Hello, 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 everyone out there in our world. Thank you for joining us today. And of course, we'll give everyone a little bit of time to join us. I always do this. I'm always like on my phone at the beginning of every live. But guys, we just want to give a warm welcome today to Miss Takisha Wilson with Purpose Life. She is a life coach and consultant. Thank you so much for joining us today, Takisha.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here with you. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Give us a little bit of love, drop some hearts, share, tell us where you're from, tell us where you're joining from. You guys know how we do. We drop in, we meet with some amazing entrepreneurs and people who have a message and find out exactly like about their journey, what they can share with us, and their successes, their failures, and all the things that make them awesome. So drop your questions below, share, like, love this video. Awesome. So, Takisha, you want to get started and tell us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Yes, thank you again. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. And Purpose Life Coaching and Consulting, it was really birthed, I would say, over about 10 years ago when I was still working at Maya Angelou Public Charter School. And at that
Mhm.
particular time, I was laid off from my job. And I was thinking, wow, what am I going to do next? And at that time, God had given me the name of the business, which is Purpose Life Coaching and Consulting. But guess what? I sat on that business for probably about 5 or 6 years before I took action.
Mm.
And I was operating from a place of fear. But of course, through every pandemic or every situation or crisis, there's always opportunities that comes to take place for us or presents itself. And at that particular time, I started to take those baby steps for Purpose Life Coaching and Consulting, where I was going to classes on being an entrepreneur, met with a great mentor, someone who assisted me. She was a person that gave me access to her business office. I had to the conference room, and she just said, "Hey, you can meet with your clients here." But because of fear and because of my mindset, I did not take advantage of those opportunities, meaning that she offered all of that to me where I didn't have to pay any fees. She just wanted to help me get started with my business or company.
Wow.
Yes. So a few years later, I finally decided to move forward with Purpose Life Coaching and Consulting. And my business consists of counseling, consulting on positive youth development. That's really my area of niche, working with youth and young adults, working with women. And I do career counseling, I do resumes, I do cover letters. But one of the things that I really started to work with when I met with my mentor is to work with small business owners or business owners who were just starting out an entrepreneur. So that's what we do. That's what Purpose Life Coaching and Consulting do. And I am a certified Gallop strength coach. And with that being said,
Mm.
that I work with individuals to help them understand, first of all, discover, identify, and then understand how to use their natural gifts and talents to move forward in their life and with their business.
Love, love, love it. I love Gallop. I think we talked about that a little bit back in the
Yes,
past. Love
yes.
Gallop. So, but you said so many powerful things in the intro of your story, right? One, you said that you had this idea in the back of your head for a long, long, long time, and you
Yes,
just sat on it. And you sat on it because of fear,
yes.
right? And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs can relate to that. So, what was it like stewing in that fear? And if you had to do it all over again, what would you change, if anything?
Right. So I felt like I was literally suffocating, that I was feeling like I couldn't breathe. I wasn't really satisfied. I felt this weight of heaviness that was on me because you know that there's something that you're supposed to do. You have this strong desire, but for fear, now I'm not going to say whatever reason, it was really fear, I allowed it to stop me. So I would get to a certain place, say for example, I would maybe have my logo design and then stop, and then wouldn't do nothing for a couple of months later or a year later. Then I would have my website design. And part of the fear is the procrastination, where you take a
Mm.
long time to make decisions or just move forward or take action. So each step of the way, I was taking baby steps because of fear. And for example, Michelle, I met with a social media expert. We had these plans, everything together. We were going to launch, and I had a family event where a family member got sick, And I noticed that I was allowing every situation to stop me from moving forward with my business. Now, I'm not saying that you're
Mm,
not supposed to stop and address what you're supposed to be doing for family and friends and loved ones, but not to say, okay, after that person had finished and got healed and was well 2 years later. And guess what? I never launched that social media
mm.
form or any information. So I allowed fear to get in my way. I made excuses and just being afraid with me. I still do currently have a 9 to 5. I'm going to transition full time to purpose like coaching and consulting. But just thinking, wow, just so used to having that salary in place that you know you're going to get what every 2 weeks and you're just used to it. But you know, it has you in a holding place where you can't really move forward because you're going to make that same salary the next 2 weeks and the next salary the next month and maybe the next year. And so you don't allow yourself to give the potential to grow and do what you need to do.
Love, love, love it. So fear, right? We're like all in that fear. So one thing too is that we love our working entrepreneurs. You know, real estate we call it dual career, but a lot of people feel like, oh my gosh, everyone's talking about screw the 9 to 5. I had to just take that deep dive into my business, but that's not everyone's reality, right? So I just want to say thanks because that's truly inspiring.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more. So now that the fear is gone and you're diving into your business and what's next? What was the next step?
Yes, so Michelle, just as you and I talked earlier, and we've heard this so many times before, is that you don't have to wait for things to be perfect to move forward, right? And so just
Powerful.
getting out of that place of perfectionism. And that's another excuse or another way that you can have where fear kind of sneaks in. You want everything to be perfect. You're making sure everything is lined up correctly, and you're never moving forward and you're never taking action. And I would say that I had opportunities that literally came to me to give me a sign and say, Takisha, this is what
Mm,
you're supposed to be doing right now. I didn't actively go and seek opportunities. I didn't actively go and seek leads or seek business, but I would say God and whoever, but people may call it the infinite
mm,
or the universe or whoever your God is that these opportunities came to me to show me, Takisha, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you
yes.
want to do anyway. And why aren't you operating in this particular place? And so my next steps now is to really move forward. I love coaching. I love development. I'm really great at helping people develop into their best possible self and just helping people navigate that process of development. And so the next steps right now is to really move forward with the Gallop assessment and coaching individuals to that place. So if you want to be better as a leader, if you want to be better with managing your team, if you want to be better as an individual, if you're still working at your particular company and you want a promotion, how do you line yourself up for a promotion? You have to be strategic, you have to plan. And one of the things is knowing yourself really well and knowing the value that you bring, knowing the value that you add. And one of the ways that I help my clients do that is through the Gallup StreamFinders assessment.
I love Gallop Strength Finders. I love it. So tell us a little bit more about Gallop Strength Finders
Yeah.
assessment.
So the StreamFinders assessment, it is a personal development tool by Gallup. And what it does, it assesses what I'm working with people, both my clients, to really help them to start off with is their top 5 talents. And what that does is out of 34 themes, which is considered your 34 top talents, but we're going to look at the top 5. And what the top 5 does is things that you just do naturally, you kind of gravitate to it, you do it without thinking twice, right? So there's four themes, and I'm looking at a little bit of my notes, but there's 4 major areas, and that is strategic thinking, that is relationship building, influencing, and executing. And out of those 4 major areas, you're going to fall, or a client will fall in one of those categories according to their top 5 strengths. So, for example, I am all relationship building. All 4 top 5 of
Mm,
relationship building, but then I have that last one in influencing, which is a command, right? So, for example, if
nice.
something is if that's an achiever, they may score that as an achiever as their top 5 strength. That means that they really work hard to achieve, and they can really work through the midnight just burning and getting work done. I mean, and it doesn't phase them. And some people, you just don't have that type of energy to really get things done and work all night, work all morning. So then if you're a woo, what they consider a woo is a person that naturally knows how to make connections, naturally know how to build relationships. You don't have to do it without like I said, you just naturally do it. And so with Gallup, it really understands or kind of help confirm those things that you know that you do well, but you didn't never have a name to it or just to understand what it exactly what it is. And it helps you to understand, according to your report, how to use them best, excuse me, or your results, how to use them best in your area, I would say, of your domain or the area that you operate in. And then it helps you understand others. When you're working with other people, if you know that they're an achiever or that they're a woo, you can say, well, this person is outgoing. You may look at a person that's outgoing, you're thinking,
Mm.
why are they always talking? Why are they always in somebody's got to be the front of the crowd? But that's naturally their woo. That's naturally who they are, or connecting and working with people and networking, and they just love it.
Love, love, love it. So I was the same. I did mine and I was really, really surprised. I thought like my background's project management. I thought I was going to be like a super executor, but actually it was achiever and futuristic was my top one,
Oh, wow.
which makes sense because I'm always trying to like really stay positive about the future.
Right.
So,
And
and I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I have everyone on my team take the Gallup StrengthsFinders.
Oh, wow. That's great.
I think it's awesome. So what would you tell people in the audience? Because everyone's heard of like, the EKFGs and all the other tests and stuff that are out there. What would you say is the major difference in Gallup versus those?
Right. So the Gallup is not personality. Gallup is strength based. Right. So you're really
Love
focused
that.
on your strengths and your talents and how you operate in them naturally. And like I said, as I mentioned earlier, it really gives you a strong concept, a strong understanding of who you are and the value that you bring, right? So, for example, with the other assessments or the other tools, they tell you more about your personality and okay how you can work well with others. But this is tell you about your strengths and how you get things done, right? And how you
Awesome.
move about and how you may work and how you think to process and get particular things done or move forward with achieving goals or working on projects or working in teams. So it really it helps you to understand the how to do it. And there's information once a person takes it and get their results, it gives you feedback to say examples of what this may look, what a woo may look like in a particular situation, and then how other strengths mirror or works well with other people. So an achiever may work well with a person that's futuristic, right? Or for a person that is a high end relator, where they love to relate to people and connect. So that's my number one. I'm high end relator, and so if you're high end
Mm,
relator, I might really work well with the woo, somebody that's out there. But then when we think about the different assessments that may focus on the personality, naturally I am an introvert, right? So naturally, I
mm.
as well not relate to people, but I don't want to be in the forefront. I don't want to be out there wooing everybody. So it helps you understand how you get things done, and then how to work with other people with their different sets of strengths, and then how to get the most done. How to get the most done. It helps again, like I said, strength-based approach. So we always look at it from a place of strengths and not your weaknesses and your natural
Love that.
talents and your natural feelings. And so that's what I really love about Gallup as well. You're looking at something from your strength and where you flow well with your strength and your strengths. And then things that you may not do so well in, they call it the basement. And then it gives you information to
Mm,
okay, how you can use your natural strength of achiever or natural strength of relator to kind of sort out something that you don't do so well. But it comes from a very positive philosophy, positive mindset, a strength based assessment. And I love it.
awesome. So how did you go from, I have these ideas, I'm operating in fear, and now you are flourishing, right? Your business is taking off. You've had a couple of speaking engagements. So how did you get to that right mental and action-based place?
Right. It's true. You have to be around the right people. You have to have the right people in your life. And I've always had good people that come into my life. But I would honestly say that for one, my husband really me supporting me to move forward in my purpose and what I was called to do.
Mm,
So you definitely need somebody that's going to help push you, that knows you very well, that's going to encourage you and say, do this and get it done. But then there's a point where you just get tired of being afraid. You get tired of not living, right? And so the name of my business is
mm,
Purpose Life, but I wasn't living my purpose.
mm.
So
That's deep.
so now I have to walk out this great thing, this great gift of purpose life, and I have to be an example. I can't tell people, "Oh, you do this and you,"
Mm.
and I'm still living in fear.
You
So
have to walk in your truth.
you have to walk in your truth. So really having those times to reflect and thinking about it, and just kind of tired of suffocating, tired of not
Mm.
living, tired of not breathing, tired of not being free, tired of your voice not being heard, whether if you're speaking through music, if you're speaking through art, if you're speaking as a through real, being a realtor, whatever your area of purpose or domain, you have to speak that however it is. And so that's what purpose life is really about. And I just said, I'm tired of living like this. And of course, when we think about everything in 2020 through COVID-19, where people that have achieved so much despite of the obstacles that they had. So, for example, when we think about Kobe Bryant, how the greatness
Mm.
that he achieved at his age, and he did so much, he did a many wonderful things. And we think about what Chadwick Boseman, who was
Mm.
sick, but he performed at the
Oh
top
God.
of his mind, right? So, what excuse do we have if we're still alive? We still have our health. We're still here on this earth. What excuse that we have? So, really start, like I said, tapping in, and reflecting. And COVID-19 has really allowed or afforded us that opportunity to really slow down and focus and reflect. What is really
Mm.
important? What do we do best? What do we want to do now? And we've heard so much where you have to take advantage of the opportunities. This is a great time to the key word is pivot, right? Pivot
Yes.
and move forward, pivot and do something different, pivot and take the time to really live your dreams, because as we know, tomorrow's not promised with everything with COVID-19 and in our world with the changes that we have experienced, that we really do need to take advantage of this opportunity. It's time to stop being afraid. It's time to
Mm.
stop living in fear. It's time to, as you said, Michelle, live your truth. It's time
Yes.
to really operate in your purpose, in your area of domain. Let your voice be heard, whatever medium that is, if it's teaching, if it's real estate, if it's music, if it's art. It's just time. You know, and
Yes.
and before I had so many excuses, Michelle. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm still commuting from all the
Mm.
traffic. I have no excuse. I'm not commuting. I'm at home. I'm saving money. You can't be out that much. A lot of events have been, we don't meet socially
Mm.
that much. So a lot of things has decreased. So what excuse do I have? What excuse do you have now? There's no excuse.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I love the thought, the idea that it's time to pivot. It's time for us to make a change. I love the fact that the time is now. You gave some great examples. Here, we really are big on, so like our new mission here is generational wealth, the real estate, and entrepreneurship.
Right.
Right. And so that's our why. And so that's why we bring people like you on to just kind of be an example to others how they can either build generational wealth or how they can just really start building their legacy.
Yeah.
Right. What's your why?
My why is that helping people live their purpose. That's why I have purpose life. Right.
Mm.
But helping people not to just live their purpose, but find out what it is. And this is, I know everybody's talking about that now. Your purpose, your gift, your talents. But this is something that I received what in 2010 or
Mm.
11 before people really started talking about it. I didn't find a cliche thing to hop on. Let me see what, oh, I want to start a business and let me do this. Or I want to start a business
Exactly.
and let me do that. So it really comes from really knowing who you are. There's different challenges in life. Probably the things that we experienced, the trauma, how we were raised, the environments that we grew up in, some of the things that we've experienced, where it causes us so many times to challenge who we are, to make us question who we are, and not really understand. Okay, this is what I do, and it really stemmed from my childhood. Growing up in a verbally abusive home,
Mm.
and just always, having that fear installed into me, not always being encouraged to say, Takisha, you can do this, you can get this done. And just seeing how at that time, well, my mom, as a woman, just not being able to have the support to really say, okay, you can do this or go explore this. So I wanted to initially work with women and say, hey, we need to know who we are as a women. We need to know the value that we add. We need to know the gifts that we
Mm.
have, and not be afraid to, as you say, speak that truth and show it and let that light shine. And with our Vice President elect, Camilla Harris, Because, we see great examples that just continue to show us over and over again, you can do this. This is what you could do. And like you said, just not depending on a company or organization to work with for the rest of your life. That's
Mm,
the original my why too. Not working for everyone, for someone for the rest of my life. Having that freedom to spend with family, having that freedom to travel, having the freedom to devote to the causes that I really appreciate or value. And then when you're with a 9 to 5 company, your income is very limited until
mm.
you
I love
apply
that.
for a promotion or a new job with a better salary. But when you have your own company, your income is limitless. You set the bar as far as how much money or income you can have, the different type of investments you can do to generate that income, and like you said, generational wealth. And that's something that I'm really big on too, Michelle. Just making sure things are in place so you can have more than one stream of income, and that you can create that generational wealth.
Absolutely. I love that. You said limitless, right? I think that that is huge. One of the buzz things that came out during this election, we try not to get too controversial here, but one of the buzz things that came out with this election was, the whole tax thing. They're going to tax people under 400,000 or over 400,000. Well,
Mhm.
through that, one thing that a lot of people learned was that people making, I think, over 400,000, that's like 1% of the population.
Right,
It doesn't even seem like that much money, but there are very few people
right,
making that income.
right,
So I love you saying limitless, like take the limits off,
right. Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit. If someone wanted to enroll in your program, what would be the transformation that they would have?
Yes. So the transformation that they would have, first of all, is you'll understand your strengths. With everyone that I work with all of my clients, I do have them take the Gallop Jump Assessment because I need to understand who I'm working with and how I can best help them. And so they will walk away just having more clarity with the value that they offer, with the value that they have. Again, as I mentioned before, just they know that, for example, you said something about project management and you thought that you would score high in certain areas, but you will get clarity as far as those top 5 strengths that would show up more, or that you do naturally. And so you will walk away knowing that, okay, this is what I do. This is what I do well. And then I will help people put a plan into place on how you can execute that, how you can execute being an achiever, how can you execute being a relator, how can you execute being futuristic
Mm.
to help you improve in the areas of concern, as far as if it's your business, even your personal relationships. And again, like I said, if you're still an employee working at a particular company, how can you excel, to get that promotion? And so you're going to walk away with having a full strength support. You're going to walk away understanding with everything that I just mentioned, and then you're going to walk away with a strategy to execute.
Love, love, love it. How do they find you?
Okay, so I am on a Purpose Life Coaching LLC, but the best way to find me, as far as with this with Gallup Strengths Assessment and just learning more about Gallup and how you can receive the services, is I'm going to put it in the chat, but it's Takisha S school .thinkific. So I'll send it, and you get that information to find out more.
Perfect. You said Takisha Dash.
S school .thinkific, and then also
Perfect.
I will put my email and address in there.
Awesome, guys. So if you want to find a little bit more about Takisha and Purpose Life and find out about the Strength Finder, Strength Finder is the truth. Again, I have my entire team take Strength Finder so we can see how we kind of like bounce off of each other, So because I am high in a little bit execution, but mostly strategy, then we know that we need an executor on the team, right? We need a
Right,
little bit of woo on the team
right, right.
to kind of balance us out a little bit.
Right. And with strengths too, they help you. We can help people, and the great philosophy is how do you work well in teams? So you do this grid, and
Mm.
you see everyone that's on your team, and you see the 4 areas. If you have people that's high in strategic or high in executing, but say if you need somebody that's high in influencing, right? If you're doing marketing or sales, so you would put that person or maybe that woo in that particular. Okay, you're going to work on this assignment, or you're going to do this particular project. And another way that they can contact me is through purposelifellc@gmail.com.
Perfect. Purpose Life LLC at gmail.com, guys. Check her out. Thank you so much, Takisha, for joining us. If there was one thing that you would leave with our budding and experienced entrepreneurs today, what would that be?
That would be to use the time that you have now to
Mm.
really move forward. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, and do not leave any opportunities on the table. And another, okay, I keep saying more than one thing,
It's
but
okay. Give it to us. Give it
right,
to us.
but just to really just get it done, really get it done. No matter you and I, Michelle, we were talking earlier. Launch,
Mm.
launch ugly. All right, do it ugly. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can go revise it later. Get out of your way as far as trying to be perfect and get in this place of perfectionism. And it has to be great. There are websites that I've noticed that are not perfect or has just too many words or whatever who are doing very well. So just get out there, whatever the next project that you want to work on, the next goal that you want to achieve. Remove all the obstacles out of your way. Not because it's the end of the year and I want to do something great and I want to achieve this, because it's the end of the year, we're entering a new year. Not because it's 2020, no, because you know that you've been called to do something. You know that it's been placed on your heart to achieve something, and you know that you're going to get it done. And an important person told me this before: who will suffer? Who will die because you're not operating your purpose? Who will
Mm.
suffer because you're not doing what you're supposed to do? Who will suffer? So the world needs what you have to offer, and whatever
Yes.
you're in, whatever domain, whatever purpose. So.
Preach, sis. Preach. Did you guys get that? So take that away. Okay, so perfection. What do they say? Perfection is the enemy to progress.
Yes.
Right? Love that. Launch ugly. So whatever it is that you're sitting on, whatever fear you're trapped in, you are doing a disservice to the world, like sis said, because the world needs you and you are holding back from them. So you're being kind of selfish. So whatever it is you're sitting on, get it done. Get it
Right.
done. And we're here to support you.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Takisha.
Thank you, Michelle, for having me. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your holiday, your Thanksgiving, and just be blessed and continue to stay safe.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye. We'll see you soon.
Bye bye.